Alright, so we're here at the brooder house, and you're looking back over my shoulder here. Right there is our Sportsman's 1500, I think it is, GFQ incubator. And I've got these blue trays here, which is what we're going to be putting our quail eggs in. These trays will hold 124 eggs. And when I get them all stacked up here today, there'll be 800 eggs in here. And hopefully we'll have about an 80% hatch out here in 23 days. And we'll have probably about 700-ish, maybe 750 if we're lucky, quail. With this incubator, we usually get about an 80% hatch rate. Sometimes a little more, because they're so precise at regulating the temperature and the humidity that you get a real good hatch rate. So some of you folks out there that are maybe hatching them in some of these styrofoam incubators and not getting a good hatch rate, the reason is because it's a little harder to control. You've got to turn these eggs at least 3 times a day, and also your humidity and your temperature is going to be correct constantly. So don't get discouraged. You just have to work on the incubator system a little bit if you're not getting a very good hatch out, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get the box open and check our eggs and start getting them on the trays. Being careful not to cut into the box. The company we get our eggs from does a real good job at packaging. And I'll tell you where we get these from here. They come from Waterley Game Bird Farm in Georgia, and they do an excellent job. We do have some breakage thanks to the handling of the box, but it's not too bad, and they always give you extras. Take off all this wrapping they have them in here, and we'll take out the first rack of quail eggs. Seeing I'm filming, I'll take out this one so I can use one hand. And that there is how they come packaged, okay? They'll come in all these trays, and believe it or not, them trays, you'll have a real good survivability rate in shipping in them trays. So I'm going to carry them over here to the table and start putting them on the trays. Got to be really careful opening these trays up, because you can puncture an egg if you're not careful. The packaging is really good, and if you're not careful taking this off, you can damage your eggs. And there's our first rack of eggs. And this is the top. If you look, you'll see that there's not much damage, or there's no damage to these eggs whatsoever, okay? They're all put in there really good. These make a really good cushion to have them shipped. We can take a peek at the bottom here. And you can see they all look pretty good in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And what you do is, when you put these eggs on these trays, they're always small side down. So you're going to take your eggs, and I like to start in the middle, and you put the small side down. Then that's how they hatch, okay? That's the way they need to be. Now we have an automatic turner in our incubator, so these trays will turn in there 3 to 5 times a day, and they'll turn just like this, and then they'll switch and they'll turn just like so. So let me go ahead and get some of these racks filled, and I'll get back to you here very shortly, and we'll show you all the eggs in the incubator. Okay folks, back to you here. I had to change my shirt because it's really hot out here, about 85 degrees. I got really sweaty, so same day, same situation, I just had to change my shirt. But anyways, out of 800 eggs that we ordered and received, all we have that's broken, I'll show you here, is these eggs that are in the container. There's 4, 8, probably about 20 eggs out of 800. Now that's pretty good. You can't ever expect you're going to have eggs shipped to you and you're not going to have broken ones, because you're going to. It's just because of the way they're handled and because of the weight. You're going to have broken eggs. But a lot of places that ship eggs, that you buy eggs from, they will give you extras to make up for any breakage, usually when they ship. So I'm going to show you these eggs, but I also want to show you, talk to you a little bit about, don't put any eggs in your incubator that are cracked or if they have a little bit of breakage on the shell, because they're not going to hatch. And all you're going to end up with is a stinky mess, and you're going to have to clean it up, and it's also going to be bad for the other eggs. So just remember that. I'll show you here what we got going on. And in here in our incubator, as you can see, we've got 4 racks right there. There's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 500 eggs right there in them racks. Up here on top is where our humidity is coming from. So that's what controls the humidity in the incubator. I'm going to close this up and get the other eggs in there real quick, okay? Because we don't want to leave this open very long. Alright folks, I have all the eggs in the incubator, and I'm going to let them sit in there for a couple of hours, and I'll come back and check the incubator and make sure that it's stabilized and it's the right temperature and humidity I want.